Hi, everybody. Welcome to the Breakfast Podcast, Season 2, correct?
Season 2, whatever we
Whatever
wanna
we're
call
calling
it,
it, we
yeah.
haven't decided on what we're calling it. We should have probably talked about that before this.
Is it really a season if the last season was like 4 years long? You know?
I mean, if you say 150 episodes is a season, that's what it is. Sometimes you only get 2 episodes a season. I'm not gonna talk about that right now, Family Guy. But hey, how's everybody doing? Host Arsenal, joined today with Ranger Danger.
Weird.
Hello.
The Bro Flame.
Yes.
Plastic Wing King.
Hooah!
Mortimer. Damn. And 907 North.
He already asleep? Fuck.
That would suck if he's already. Yes.
First time he's been on a podcast in forever, and he's asleep.
It's funny because because we were playing earlier, and I talked to him. I was like, "Hey, are you doing the podcast Sunday?" He's like, "Do you work tomorrow?" He's like, "No," and he's like, "Oh, I'll try to be on if I don't fall asleep," and immediately falls asleep. Wonderful.
Yes.
I was live.
No, I was always live.
Oh, you were ignoring me?
Hey,
You piece of
hello.
shit. So how's everybody doing? Did everybody enjoy their 2-week break?
That was 2 weeks.
It was
like that.
2 weeks.
It was 2 weeks.
Wait, that was 2 weeks?
It was 2 weeks. That was 2 fucking weeks.
That didn't feel like
felt
2
like
weeks.
one.
Oh, it didn't even feel like one. It felt like a few days. Trust me.
Felt like a month.
No,
It's June now, guys.
it's
This year's
June.
like
Yo, happy
Yeah,
Pride
yeah,
Month,
we're
everybody!
almost halfway there.
Yay!
Ooh.
Yeah, we got to change all of our images to rainbow flags and shit. We got to what's it called? Technicolor all of our photos.
That's right. LGBT.
Hell no. I'm not fine with that.
Well, guys, it's June. I'm here to say it. I'm coming out as trans. Male to alpha male.
I would also like to identify
I
from
begin
going from straight.
testosterone supplements next month.
I was like, I would like to go from straight to super straight. Thank you very much.
I decided to come out as
Hey man,
I
it's
decided
just
to
a
come
quick
out
trip to
from
Rosarito
a
away.
man to a man.
I would like to go from man to men. I'm 2 men.
Men?
I'm 2
There's
men now.
multiple of you now.
I identify as 2 men. We're trying to do mitosis.
Oh god.
Oh god, what a fucking shit show. So Great King.
So Warhammer 40,000 Bolt Gun
Yeah,
is a pretty damn good game.
agreed. It's fun.
Tell it to me. I don't know a thing about it.
Do you like
It's a
killing
fun,
demons, son?
shooty poopy.
a Warhammer 40,000 retro FPS, harkening back to like Doom and Quake.
It feels a lot
Unreal
more
Engine
Okay, so what are
games.
they doing with the graphics? How realistic are they going? They're not, right?
They're
No,
not.
they're not. It's the other way around. They're making it
Good.
look like older FPS games. Probably like how
Okay.
like Duke Nukem and Shadow Warrior look. Duke Nukem, Shadow Warrior, Blood.
Excellent.
Looks great. I do like the art style and the
It also
aesthetic that
runs great. I
they
wanna
went
make
for. Runs. I've had a couple weird things with it. I get frame drops every once in a while when things load in or when some effects get too much. I turn settings down as well to get consistent frame rate. But outside of that, it does run pretty well.
Yeah, I haven't had any problems
Um,
with it when I played it. I have one comment and it's more a lore comment, but let's go ahead do your thing first.
Actually, I was gonna bring it up because I kind of want to because I'm coming into Bolt Gun as a person who has a surface level knowledge of 40K, but has played a lot of retro shooters before. So I'm coming into the game on the more mechanic side, how it plays, and how I compare it to Doom or I guess
Other RTS.
a more recent game like Dusk,
Yeah.
or I haven't played Ultra Kill, but stuff like that. Whereas I know for you, you're more into the lore 40K, and you're gonna probably recognize things in the game that I don't recognize.
Right. So that's where I bring up. So I have a lot of things. I'm the exact opposite of you. I don't play these games because
Yeah.
I'm bad at games. This is known.
It's also just not really your genre either.
Correct. That's also true. But from a lore perspective, a lot of the stuff that they got right, I hate that I'm the villain of the game. Let's not get into this conversation right now. We'll get into it once we do a little bit more into the review of the game. But the overarching thing about it is it's a good game for both sides of the on both sides. Like, it plays great. The guns feel good. They feel like they're supposed to. You also get a variety of guns that I wasn't expecting. I know we talked about it right before we recorded it, but the shotgun was not expecting.
You know all the guns in the game.
I don't because I haven't beat the game yet. From the ones that I've seen you do, I assume there's more than what we have, right? Those because
Yeah.
there's multiple slots. I know we have the
So-
plasma gun, the bolter.
So even in the first, because there's 3 chapters. In the first chapter, you only get 4 guns. You get the bolter, the shotgun, the plasma gun, and the heavy bolter.
Right.
And you don't get the other weapons until the chapter 2, and you don't even get the last weapon until chapter 3.
What are the other weapons, if I may ask?
So it is from 1 to 8 or 9. It's bolter, shotgun, plasma gun, heavy bolter, vengeance launcher,
Interesting.
melt-a-gun,
Oh god.
volkite clavier.
Excuse me.
I think it's called that. I don't know how to actually pronounce it. And the very last weapon, I feel like I'm forgetting one, but the very last weapon is a grav cannon. Or a
Okay.
grav beam or something like that. Hold
Okay.
on. I can load my save.
No heavy flamer?
There's
No,
not a
there's no
flamer in the
flamer.
game.
which is I would have taken
Damn.
the flamer over the shotgun any day because that's a more lore accurate. No Space Marine that I am aware of uses a shotgun, for the tabletop and or in lore that I've known about. That's more of like
Ooh.
a cultist type thing. But
I watched the video about the weapons of it, and one of the things I heard was that the reason the shotgun is significant is because it's like they call it like a Death Watch shotgun or something
Yeah,
like it. Like
yeah.
it's styled after a very specific shotgun in the 40k universe.
yeah, the Death Watch are a kind of like a Xeno-esque, like they use other technology, not from the Imperium. So like they use other people's stuff, including Chaos's stuff. That makes more sense too, because that's common for Chaos to use a shotgun. But the Melta is the one that scares me
Let
the most
me
because
just
I believe the Melta
verify that I'm not forgetting any weapons here.
the Venge launcher is basically just it's a rocket launcher, right?
Like a grenade
Okay.
launcher. So
Yeah. So the Volt gun one is interesting.
I can actually.
Yeah, I
I'm
have
in
'em-
kind of a late stage in the game, but I can because you haven't seen them yet. Let me.
I just looked them up. Which is interesting to me because that's not a 40k
Oh,
weapon.
that's fun.
Fail error.
Crashed. Whoopsies. Volt gun just crashed. That was weird. That's never happened.
Yeah, the reason I bring that up,
Uh-oh.
is because that's not a 40k weapon. That's a 30k weapon.
The clavier.
The Caviar, yes, and you
Yeah. I saw. I
Refused.
heard that in the
which
That's
that's
the wrong.
that's neat. I do admit that's neat.
Because the lore that I heard from it was that it was like the weapon that they used back in like the Horus Heresies,
Right.
and but people forgot how to make them, and so
You just want to stop.
because the technology was too great for the knowledge, and they bolt gun, and they started using bolt guns instead.
Yeah, the reason I know it the most, it is a common weapon for the Night Lords. That is our weapon of choice in the Heresy. I was like, what? Huh? Explain yourself? Yeah, the Mars Omega pattern,
we have-
pattern Voltic caliber is the most favored tactical support groups of the Night Lords. Yeah, that's when I heard that I was like, that seems fucking out. Also, the main villain of the group is Chaos in general, from what I've seen.
Yes.
We talked about it. It's Nurgle, Nurgle, Zeech, and the Black
there we go.
Legion, which I get it.
Oh yeah, because the Space Marines.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah,
The Chaos Marines.
you play as a blueberry, which and a particular blueberry. You're a beaky. You have the beak helmets. All right, go ahead.
So weapons are bolt gun. This one has the special ammunition in it. The shotgun.
Mm-hmm.
The plasma gun. This one has the machine spirit in it, which I like the machine spirit mechanic because it allows you to choose a weapon to upgrade. And I always put it on the plasma gun because
Yeah,
this is ridiculous.
heavy bolter.
Heavy bolter. So you get those 4 weapons in the first chapter. Then you get the vengeance launcher, which is a grenade launcher, and they to targets and they explode. Kind of, I think this is the weakest weapon in the game. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, it's powerful, but I've rarely used it. Like I use the shotgun more than I do the vengeance launcher.
Okay.
And you have the melt gun,
Oh, the classic melter.
which
Melts.
It's devastating.
Yeah, the melted gun is.
But you don't get a
melted
lot
gun.
of ammo for it, or the ammo pool's not very big, so
Jesus.
you can just melt through. But yeah, you destroy stuff.
Hence the
And then
term
you
melter.
have this thing, the clavier,
Yeah.
which is a really good weapon. Like actually, probably like one of the best weapons in the
It's a
game.
beam,
Like
yeah.
this almost beats the plasma gun.
Which is interesting because it's a strength 6 weapon, if I'm seeing correctly.
Strength 6. Oh, and that's also another thing to touch on. So yeah, clavier, and then the grav cannon, which decimates everything, basically.
Interesting.
They don't got the BFG in this either.
This is like the closest thing to the BFG.
Yeah, the grab cannon is the BFG of the
Damn.
faction. For any handheld guns, anyways. Yeah, that is the gun. Not a lot of things really use it because it's that big. Of a
Oh
gun.
wait, that's fucking Doom.
Yeah. Also, the best.
Did
weapon
you
in the
really
whole-
think that was a 40k thing?
And now because of the gameplay, I was like, oh, are we playing Doom again?
I mean,
Like, where's the
This
BFG?
is
you're
Vulcan.
killing
This is
demons.
Vulcan.
You know, you're
You're superhuman.
you,
Yeah, basically,
it's
you
actually
know,
funny.
like
It's funny that we're talking about this. They're transhuman, actually. That's an actual statement. It's not. That's not like them.
Oh
Being...
no, they're LGBTQ members.
No, I think that's different. They're more alien than they are human. We're not gonna get into that either. This is not a Warhammer podcast. But overall,
it's
the game
It's
is.
a Warhammer
Um,
I'm working on
So-
unrelated. We're working on that too. Anyways, yeah, no. Overall, the game's good. I hate that we're the bad. We had to fight fucking chaos again, but it's good. I get it.
That's just how it's gonna go. You know, it's like you're playing a big bad space marine fighting against the forces of evil in a retro inspired
Yes.
FPS where usually it is you play the good guy, a single lone good guy, and kill everything.
I know it fits
the
the genre,
Emperor.
but I don't like it. The Emperor protects my ass.
Well,
alright?
yeah, we know what. We'll fucking deal with it.
I damn. Also, we forgot the most important weapon in the whole game:
Oh, that's right,
the chainsword.
a chainsword, which I can't really show. Let me turn.
The humble chain sword.
Oh, there's nothing humble about it. It's beautiful. It's in your face. It's
Fucking nerdlings.
fucking sucks.
You can also charge.
8
Right.
nerdlings. Oh yeah, you can charge. Yeah. I mean, I guess I can give like a little snippet here. Where am I at? I think.
You can also stomp. Technically, you can stomp them on a very high distance. Just
Yeah,
like
there's
lemon
dirty. You can. Like,
jelly.
I hate nerdlings. I hate nerdlings. I hate
I hate
nerdlings.
Nurglings more than anything in this game, dude. Terminators, whatever.
And kill Pop on Nurgle.
You know, Grandfather Nurgle is less fun. Just like
He's just a nice guy.
Yeah, he only loves
He's a nice
everyone.
fat old man.
Papa nerdling.
but yeah, no, I recommend the game. It's fun. It is a little different for me. You guys are gonna see a lot more of my streams with that eventually.
One of the things, because it is Warhammer 40k, I was surprised at how faithful it was to some of the 40k stuff. Not just in lore, but in mechanics. I'm
Right.
mainly talking about the strength system,
Um,
where I don't play tabletop, so I really can't compare to how it works in tabletop. But
can.
having the weapons be different strength levels, having the enemies be different strength levels,
accurate.
basically kind of forcing you to use certain weapons for certain occasions, which you are doing anyways with these kind of games. You have different. Each weapon's going to have its own useful slot. I think some weapons are just generally underused. I'm talking about the shotgun and the vengeance launcher.
Yeah.
But you know, each thing has their niche. And I like that there's like a strength system in the game that kind of reinforces that. It's like, yeah, don't use the shotguns against Chaos Marines because it's not going to do a lot of damage, or save your melta-gun ammo for a really big boss or something.
And
Ooh,
in game, they're a little bit off. And that's the only thing I have a little bit of a weird thing about. The Melta and the Plasma are both strength 8, but I think it's designed for the new system, which is coming out in 10th, which everything got weaker, and it definitely feels that way. So yeah, no.
And you also have to keep in mind that's like they also had to balance stuff
Correct.
around the game itself. Like everything is capped to like 7 here, right? It's like the only thing with a toughness higher than 7 is like the final boss.
And that makes perfect sense because
Sorry,
that's-
spoilers, but yeah, the
yeah.
final boss has a toughness of 8, so every weapon you use is going to be doing reduced damage.
Yeah. Spoiler
Um,
territory. Isn't the last boss like a Lord of Change? Is it not?
it's spoilers.
So I said spoilers first.
Oh,
I did say spoilers.
do you want me to tell you?
I don't care. I've seen it. I was watching.
So the
Bricky.
floor change isn't even a final boss of anything. You
it
fight the
not?
first floor change in the first mission. Not even on the last level either.
What would be the
It's
boss?
it's like some sorcerer psyker guy is
How
like
much
the
is
main
the
antagonist
hunting
of the game.
license?
Does he have blue and gold armor?
Oh, I think he looks like one of the chaos guys.
Okay, so then
Well,
he's
the black and the gold.
Like 1,000
Yeah.
Suns, or
Well, I thought Thousand Suns because that makes perfect sense with
Oh,
Zeech and
What's his fucking name? He has a name.
is it Aruman?
Something Samuel.
so they're probably Black Legion then.
Yeah, it's a Black Legion.
Yeah,
that's
Black
fine.
Legion guy. I don't know if it's actually I don't know if it's actually a guy in universe or if it's a guy they made up for the game specifically.
They probably made it just for the game, which is perfectly fine. Also, I've been
Yeah,
having
sh-
a problem
sh-
spelling bolt gun. I always spell it with bloat gun or blot.
Well, Blot gun.
Yeah.
Bolt gun.
Blot
And, I mean,
gun.
and also aesthetically, like the game is fantastic. There actually is an option. There's like a graphical option for like the retro stuff. If I go to video, I think.
Oh, I see the guy with the name. Oh god, you gotta find one of those too. Wonderful.
Where's it? Oh yeah. There's an entire retro graphical settings. You can like enable stuff, and the retro palette you can change, and you can make it as dirty or as clean or as grainy and dirty as you want. You can make it look like this shit. This is hideous.
Oh yeah, I've seen those, and oh my god.
The pixelation slider you can have like really clean or just like oh hell yeah baby. Oh.
We should
Oh my
play.
god.
So one of us should play this on a live stream, and for every 10 or so bit or dollars or bits or whatever, just like increase it
would
by
donate to us.
1%. Pat would empty his bank account for us.
Yeah, I haven't been playing it on live streaming as much as I can. I've just been pretty busy. So he's a new character for the game. So I'm reading the article for him. He is a sorcerer. He's a chaos sorcerer. So that's fine. Also did not know that we are the space marine that we are, which makes perfect sense of why we're that good at this. You know, that we could take on the whole game. We're a Stern Guard.
Are we a specific like named space marine? I
Malrum
know the
Cato.
game calls us like a Stern Guard veteran or something.
Yeah,
but is
Stern
he
Guard-
actually named?
Correct. Yes. Here, I will put it in the chat. That way you can pronounce it because I'm going to pronounce it wrong.
Malum Kado.
Malum Cato, a Stern Guard veteran, which makes all of the sense. Yeah, they're part of the Firstborn elite company. Firstborn first company of the Ultramarines, which makes perfect fucking
Yeah.
sense for everything.
Okay.
Yeah, and I believe he's the
Verified badass, basically, kind of
Yeah,
like
yeah,
someone like
100%.
Doom Guy or Duke Nukem or
Correct. These are certified guys. These are the
these are the guys.
Yeah, and it's weird because they're also ancient as shit. They're roughly around 7,000 to 8,000 years old. Not many are left. That's why they're so badass.
Oh, so man, it sucks. In the beginning, you fall in a drop pod with like three other guys, and they all die.
Yeah.
On impact, you're like the only survivor.
Oh my god. There's an island. There's an island off the coast of Frisco. It's a hunting island.
Called Frisky.
Okay.
Grizzly Island. It's you hunt there.
And do you hunt grizzlies?
No, you hunt piggies and geeses and rabbit and elk and shit, you know. Basic
Pig or boar?
NorCal. They're called wild pigs, but I mean,
Yeah.
So boar.
pigs go feral in like 6 months, actually. I think we've looked it up before. I think it's actually about 6 months. At that point, they're considered hogs, I reckon, or I guess boar, like you said. And good news, it's open season all year. It's almost like they're
A
a
pest?
pest or something. Wild.
Bolt gun, good. Get it. no?
I played it so much. I have so much I want to say about it.
I have a lot to
I
say
do
about
like
in
it
the
a
little bit I
lot.
played.
Yeah,
It plays
question.
fantastically. My first impression of the game when I first played the first level is I loved how weighty you felt running around as a space marine. The
sound
sound
effects-
is really good. The
yeah, the clunk of
the
the
weight
stair
as you're
might
running
be-
around is
You
good.
hear the steps. Dunk, dunk, dunk,
Yeah.
dunk, dunk, dunk.
I also I do have my I do have a couple of grievances with the with some stuff. I just more from a mechanical standpoint.
Sounds like it's mostly performance-wise, like about it crashing and stuff, right?
Well, that was the first time it crashed, but I've only assumed
Oh,
that's
really?
because of stuff was happening with Discord.
I'm having some issues. I'm
Performance
having
can
some
dip
Discord
vary
now.
sometimes, but I haven't quite figured out what causes that. So as someone coming from playing a lot of retro shooters, there's certain amenities that I'm used to having in these kind of games. That bolt gun does not have.
Well,
One
thank
of
you.
them is auto run, which is basically 100% running all the time because there's no penalties running in this game. It's a retro FPS. But you can toggle running, and you can just hit it once at the beginning of the mission and just ignore it for the rest of the mission. In fact, I've changed the bind to like control because it doesn't even matter. It feels fun to kind of just trudge around, just walking like you're just like a guy, calm and collected, just killing shit. But I like running around the level, and I would like it if it would just like automatically make me run at the beginning and never stop. I wish it
Literally
told you
just
how many
top
enemies
action.
and how many secrets are in the game, are in the levels, because you could very easily miss an enemy, and you could extremely easily miss a secret because you don't even know it's there. You don't know how many secrets there are in the level until the end of the game, until the end of the level, and you have to kind of remember that there's that many secrets in it. Secret finding is kind of the easy secrets are easy, and they're just there. You can find them if you know where to look for them.
Yeah.
But there's the harder ones are just kind of in weird spots, and I did not know there were like hidden wall secrets in this
didn't know that.
game until like the last couple of levels. And I was wondering why I was missing so many secrets, and I still haven't found all of them. I probably might not find all of them. I might just look up a guide. I don't know. I haven't seen anything about this, but I said this before in the previous season 1. Custom levels. I'd love to see people make their own levels for this game. Like the levels and the maps and just the base ones are good if generous in like the ammo they give. I feel like
I feel like I was
I
never
almost feel like the
struggling
game,
for
even
ammo.
on Exterminatus, is pretty easy.
Yeah,
I would love to see people make their own levels for this because it's all there. It's a retro FPS. It can easily be done. You know the objects, the items, and the monsters are all predefined. Even if there's no official support, I think people are gonna try anyways. I felt like when I first played the game on hard, I just felt like it was way too generous with the ammo. Like it like you never ever run out of ammo in the game. Playing on Exterminatus, the hardest difficulty, you gotta keep an eye at it, I think, but it's still pretty generous. Movement surprisingly nuanced. I was reading reviews on Steam about it, and I was looking at the negative reviews, and a couple of them have had good points to make, like the points that I've been making. But like, a couple of them were also kind of just like people bitching about not being able to play the game properly. But a get good situation. Them complaining about level design, monster health, and weapon usefulness. Someone straight up called the plasma gun useless, and I am sorry. I am
I'm
so
sorry, that is
sorry.
wrong.
If you played this game for more than a couple missions, you know the plasma gun is like one of the best weapons in the game.
And
There's a reason you don't.
see
Okay, so
coming
there's a
from.
reason that in the final chapter, because in between chapters it takes all your weapons away. In the final chapter, you don't get the plasma gun until halfway through the chapter. You get everything else first, and then you get the plasma gun. Because it's just that powerful. So I've also I've just seen a lot of people complain about how the game is either too hard or too obtusely designed, or enemy balance is difficult. There's some comments about like art design and how some of the lower ranked enemies can like blend in with the map, and yeah, that's fair enough. And certain maps certainly kind of look samey. I've had like issues with being
listen-
able to spot enemies, and it's like and especially when I'm firing a gun like the heavy bolter, it can be hard to see what exactly is going on, and that's just visual stuff. It's like that's a minor thing.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Wise.
Huh?
You wanted to say something?
Oh yeah, I was going to talk about the people or hard to find enemies. I personally kind of like that because you have to keep on your toes to keep an eye out, or you're going to get shot. I do see why people are kind of frustrated with that, but for me, I see that as a plus.
I also want to add one last thing to it. Is that they made all of the different enemy types, even though some of them are very similar, very unique as well.
Yes.
Every enemy type is like fun to deal with in a certain way. Like the pink horrors act like how they are in tabletop. You know, once you kill a pink one, you get 2 blue ones. Works fine. The flamers are fucking annoying, just like how they are in game. All that.
Each
Cultists
enemy
mean
has
something.
its way to deal with them, or their quirk. Even the little guys, the auto gun cultists, your really basic bitch shoot a gun at you. You have the shotgun guys.
Hey man,
The plasma guys are the plasma gun renegades are an interesting aspect because they are dangerous. They're actually more dangerous, not because they have a plasma gun, well, because they have a plasma gun.
but they don't care.
If you kill them, there's a chance that they just straight up explode, which makes them dangerous if you're up close and personal at them, like either like shotgunning people or chain sorting them, or you risk getting some serious damage if you aren't careful with the plasma renegades. The heavy stubber cultist, the one that has a machine gun, has more health than the other one, so he's a little harder to dispatch, and you kind of have to make sure you can deal with him properly. It's not difficult. It's just like he's a little tougher than the regular swishy guys. The pink horrors, I do like them. They're probably one of my favorite enemies in the game.
Mhm.
They remind me of because their projectiles homing, or it reminds me of Vors from the original Quake, where they fired a homing projectile that would follow you and explode, and they were really dangerous. They're not as dangerous as them, but I don't know. They're very satisfying to fight, and they're very satisfying to kill. Like a plasma gun blast or a up close shotgun blast, or just like a really fun enemy to fight. I hate the plague toads.
Hate plague toads. Hate nurglings.
Eight plague toads. Eight nurglings.
Everything about Nurgle in this
They're
game, I fucking
annoying.
love. I hate.
Yeah, fucking Nurgle.
Not because they're bad, because they're fucking. Ugh.
I mean, like, fucking. I think the toads are a little tankier than they should be. The Tzitz's exalted flamers have a lot of health and aren't really that dangerous, so they're more annoying to take down than dangerous.
Sounds about right.
The chaos enemies, so Space Marines
love
aren't
the
so bad. The
designs.
Terminators aren't that bad if they're a little tanky, but that makes sense. Oh, the aspiring champions. See, if you don't kill them, they come back.
Dude,
Well, I found a way to get around that. Is you get them to a nice, like, decent chunk, a little bit of health, and then you chainsaw them, and then they just die.
chainsaws. So I learned that too. If you chainsaw like the pink horror or something that comes back, they don't split, or they don't come back with the chainsword.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay.
I think is a neat mechanic too.
I
Where
don't
like
think I knew that actually. That's good to know. Actually, ooh, I can implement that
yeah,
into my bolt gun start exterminatus run.
yeah. I definitely am gonna probably do an exterminatus run, and it's gonna be about 24 hours of myself just sucking.
I mean, I would say finish the game first and see how you feel.
Well, 100%.
about it.
Yeah, 100%.
Because exterminatus is an appreciable jump in difficulty.
Is it okay?
It's a welcome jump on my end, but I know especially because you don't play these kinds of games, and you haven't gotten very far in the game, because the later chapters and later missions do get difficult.
Okay.
I would say finish the game on hard, see how you feel. If you think you're up to exterminatus run, do it, because it's fun. It's fun. I have smiled so much playing just playing exterminatus, because it's like, oh wow, that was actually difficult, and I had to kind of manage my resources, and I had to. Especially on levels where that's why I want to bolt gun starts the levels, because they are designed in that way where you can pick up the weapons again throughout the level.
Yeah.
And I feel like that would add an appreciable layer of difficulty to everything. But I'm a masochist when it comes to this stuff, so I love challenges.
No, full
and
stop.
difficulty.
You're a masochist. Full stop.
Hot.
Yeah.
What?
Hurt me,
What?
hurt me, daddy. What?
What? Yeah, no, but the other thing, that's the other thing about it is like, I chose hard because I'm like, okay, I'm not gonna pussy out and be the lowest difficulty, but I'm like, I know I'm not good at games. I chose hard, and it's I think just the right balance of where it's hard enough where Marco's gonna fucking like lose his shit, but not hard enough where I don't think it's impossible.
Right. It's not Dark Souls.
Correct, but it's not
No,
easy
hell
either.
no,
Like
it's
I
not
gotta,
Dark
yeah.
Souls. It hits a lot of nails on the head. Like, it does a lot of things right. It does some stuff weird and some stuff is missing, but for what you get, like, it's only a $20 game too. Like, it's not that expensive compared to all
It's
games. It's
not.
also not
And if
really
you
a
got it-
AAA title, but it doesn't need to be.
And if you
This
got it
is
on,
a simple, digestible experience.
and if you got it on the release week like we did, it was $19.
Yeah, it was off.
Oh, actually, a lot of the games are off. So jumping off that, because I know we can talk about this for a cool thing, because at the same time when I bought the game, they let out the game, Warhammer 40,000 Speed Freak, the alpha for Speed Freak,
I'm gonna stop streaming Vulcan.
which is I will start streaming this because I want to get. This is more of a game that I feel like
So
is more
Speed
my
Freaks.
speed. I will show you real quick, right here.
So I've only watched the trailer to Speed Freaks.
Well, you can watch it live now.
And I was the name Speed Freaks kind of wow, that's loud.
Is it loud?
There you go. No, it's
Yeah.
fine. I can turn my
The
stream
game
volume
is loud.
down. Because when I first captured the point, what?
Captured the.
I
so yeah,
love it.
you
I love
play-
it already.
You play as,
I love it
you
already.
play as some orc boys and most of the very famous orc vehicles. And it's kind of like both a race and a kind of like shoot 'em, like almost like a team deathmatch kind of game. And like there's like different different car types. This is like kind of the aesthetic. And this is just the alpha. This is just the alpha. Like it came out the same time Bolt Gun did. And it kind of gets, yeah. See, like now you got to race. It's an interesting game.
I see, like basically, there's like attackers and defenders here.
It depends. Yeah, it depends on who's capturing, who has the point. And you get extra points for getting there first and for doing all that. The name Speed Freak is what all the vehicles in the tabletop game are called. Anything that's they have the Speed Freak, which means that they move very fast and are unimpeded by all that.
Oh, gotcha. Because when I first saw the name Speed Freaks and the general premise, I imagined like a cart game.
It kind of is. Like you get different stuff. The Grot Tank.
But more like actual. Well, okay. Once again, I haven't played this game. I'm getting like shooter, but with cars kind of
That's
thing.
kind of what it is.
Like, because my second impression after seeing the trailer was that it was going to be like a World of Tanks thing, or like a War Thunder thing, because of the vehicles. But it doesn't seem that way though. This seems not that.
No, it seems a lot more. I feel more like a team deathmatch, kind of like you die, you come back really, real quick. And there's a bunch of different classes, and it basically covers most, if not all, of the orc vehicles that you can play in game. And all the different their different abilities and stuff. Like right now, I'm shooting squigs. Just live squigs at people, because that's what I can do. And like it gets into that. It's a very, how do I put this? It's a very us kind of game where it's like mindless violence, and it's just you gotta work out a little bit.
Trumped by Homie Kenobi.
Yeah, and all of the things are like crumped, stuff
I
like that.
love the orc language. It's so good.
It's that like kind of British and kind of like broken English. I'm driving the bug. What is it? Oh god.
I think
Swig
that
buggy.
Speed Freaks and Bolt Gun have done a really good job of actually capturing
What 40K is.
what 40K is. Because I know in the past, 40K games outside of certain
Handful.
exceptions haven't really done that well at showing off 40K.
Correct. And that's kind of
And with Bolt Gun, with Speed Freaks, with let's Space Marine 2, even the original Space Marine. What was that ship game that came out a while back?
Battlestar Battlefleet
Galactic Armada or something like that.
Yeah.
That was
Hellblade
I didn't play. I
29.
watched stuff, and that looked fantastic as well.
I actually wanted to get into some of those kind of games as well. And I think that's just the way to do it for me. Like those kind of ship games like that. It's weird when I wanted to play this. The game that I wanted to play after this was in fact War Thunder and World of Tanks. It kind of gave me that I want to go and blow something up in a tank kind of vibe.
Oh, there's a thing going on right now, actually, for Warhammer stuff on Steam.
Yeah, it was
Warhammer Skulls Festival of Video Games.
Yeah, they're having a bunch of sales
Oh.
on a lot of their games. It's also because they
Yeah, it's
released
on
the
the
speed.
Xbox too.
It's cool, man. It's been an interesting. It's a weird time. It's a weird time because I know we talk about a lot of Warhammer because it's the new thing with the group, but it's a lot. It's gotten a lot of media traction, with a show coming out with Henry Cavill leading the charge. A lot of the new 10th edition is coming out, and it's gotten a lot more media coverage, I guess, more than like it used to. A lot more on YouTube, a lot more in the mainstream of stuff. So I think that's also a big thing about it too, where a lot of more eyes are on the hobby, which is good. It's good for people like me who like the IP, like the world I guess, galaxy, whatever it's called, the term.
The universe.
The universe. I like the universe of
Yeah.
40K as a setting. It's similar to how Star Wars is. Like Star Wars is so vast and so thing that
Awesome.
there's a lot of stuff that can just
What
happen.
sent this?
Say again.
Oh no, sorry.
Okay. Era of good 40K things is upon us.
It
It's
is upon
weird.
us. 10th edition comes out. I'm gonna stop doing this. But yeah, go try out Speed Freak. It's a fun game.
And you can just play that, right?
Yeah, use free
Right now,
Yeah,
at least, because
Yeah.
it's I'm assuming like a
it's an
like
alpha.
an alpha test kind of
Yeah.
sorta, like a stress test kind of thing for them.
It definitely has some bugs. Also, I didn't get to show it off when I was playing the game, but there is an option to blow yourself up.
Blow yourself up.
Which is very orky.
Oh, request access. Access granted. Welcome to the playtest. Okay, thanks, man.
That's basically
Big
it.
preach.
Big freakish, bro.
Let's see if I
Yeah,
can
because
find
10th
time for
edition,
that.
10th edition comes out. It should be dropping any day this week, any in the next few days, because they released the last one is out in 4 hours for the last faction, and I believe all of the rules for the new game are already leaked. They've already leaked out. The whole book has leaked already from playtesters.
Oh, okay.
The whole book is out already. So the only thing that is now needed to play 40K in 10th edition is the index to reset the game, to get all the values of the models and how many points they're worth in game and what they can do, their abilities.
So, question.
Correct. Go ahead.
I know there's new systems coming out. Nothing stops people from playing the old systems,
No,
right? Like if they prefer how it worked beforehand, it's like they can still play like
100%,
kind of like with Dungeons and Dragons, where anybody can play any system.
Yeah, no, and that's the thing about it is the editions. There's a lot of communities that still play a lot of the older editions. And my favorite is a Russian guy who does a Wahapedia, where it has literally all of their games, not just Warhammer. It has AOS, it has Necromunda, it has I think all the way to 7th edition for Warhammer. Yeah, so right now, because of the current games, it's Warhammer 9th edition, Kill Team, which is another game, it's 2nd edition, and Age of Sigmar 3, and it has archives of 8th and 7th, Kill Team, the first one, and 2nd Age of Sigmar, and the new Necromundus and other games that they support. But yeah, it's weird. Yeah, there's rule sets you can just buy for any of the editions, and just find them. It's not hard. A little expensive because Warhammer.
Yeah, it's Warhammer still, so
Yeah.
that's not surprising.
Yeah.
Yeah, models that were made back in the early 90s are still worth as much as brand new ones, especially for collectors. And I know I've bought many of them.
Yep.
I have a lot of old
Also-
figures from back in the day. Oh,
Little
funny-
going back to Bolt Gun, just a little saying, but I love that when you stand still for too long, the guy pulls out a holy book and starts reading.
yeah.
Like the out animation is just like and just reading a scripture.
It's funny we're
it's-
talking about this. It's funny we're talking about this. I received this message right now, posting in our general chat. Somewhere in the warp during the events of Bolt Gun. You absolutely sure that he's not one of yours? Yeah, reasonably.
Wait, what's going on?
I posted it in the general chat in our
Somewhere in the warp during the events of the Bolt Gun game. Are you absolutely sure he's not one of yours?
fucking corn, man.
He really is a fucking badass though, because he like single Space Marine goes and kills like hundreds upon hundreds of chaos entities.
Yeah. Yeah. No.
Really nice.
Yeah. His bolt gun.
Ooh, there's a I'm not gonna spoil this, but one of the it's like the last level of the first chapter. I love. There's like portals and shit.
Mhm.
I think you're gonna like it, just from like an aesthetic and like
Are we playing Portal
lore
2
point
again?
of view. No, that wasn't what I was talking about at
Oh,
all.
not that kind. Okay.
No.
Just. Okay.
It's cool. It's a cool little segment.
I hope. Hopefully, Flame, that sold you on the game.
What? Yes.
Wait, what?
It's funny because at the same time, Warner Brothers has done a lot of things for their games. So a lot of the games were on sale. Cowboy and I both got Injustice 2 and Mortal Kombat 11, both total for $10 with all the DLCs for them both. And
Damn.
yeah, we've been playing them just because we were playing them anyways. And we're like, oh, cool. Now I have it, so now we can play remotely and stuff. It's cool, man. It's a really weird time. It's a really good time to be a gamer that likes certain IPs. Oh, my daughter.
This all has made me want to go and rewatch what's the series called? If the Emperor had text to speech
Yes,
device.
it's so sad that it got canceled.
Indefinitely postponed.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's postponed for now.
I'm not 100%
That's how I
sure
refer
what
to my
happened.
sex life.
Definitely.
I've heard a lot of
postponed.
things of why it stopped.
It was because Warhammer did
The Warhammer Plus, right?
I don't know what specifically they did, but it was like this. It was like
They did I know they. So a lot of.
the guy couldn't continue making the videos and like receive support from it because Warhammer would have put a stop to that. I think it was like a monetary thing.
So the thing about it is so at the time that Warhammer was getting really big, I guess in the public space, there was a lot of the reason because of it is because there was a lot of animators that were doing stuff in 3D, like 3D modeling and stuff like that, on YouTube, and they were getting huge numbers, right? At the same time, Warhammer was trying to do the same thing as all other places are trying to do their own streaming service, which is Warhammer Plus, because they're very original. Yes, that's a critique. Games Workshop deal with it. And they have some animated shows on there that look like if I animated them, and there's some that are really actually kind of bad. There are some that are good. I'm not saying no.
Because sorry to interrupt, but also wasn't this also like around the time where Astartes, that one fan series,
Correct. It
was also getting a lot of traction as well. What happened to that, by the way?
Same thing. It got a cease and desist. And
Is that still on YouTube, or
I-
because I could have sworn that they moved it to a different site?
I think so. Let me check. Astartes. Yes. So I have it under my search things. So Astartes, it's here. I don't think by the original guy.
Oh, someone re-uploaded it.
Yeah, but there's only that one there's only one. Yeah, so it's not here. Yeah, it's covered by Major Kill. It's covered by Adeptus Ridiculous. Yeah, so it was here for a while. It was good. It was
No, it was fantastic.
but it's one of those things where like it was because of that they were trying to get rid of them all, and now they got so much backlash. Like it's kind of toned down
Yeah,
again.
they're like, oh shit, we're sorry.
Kind of. It's still like a lot of people are still kind of afraid to do it. Like the other one that got really big was Hell's Reach. I don't know if you know about that, with the Guardian of Krieg and the blood and the Black Templar and orcs. No,
I can't put a finger on it.
it
It
was
sounds familiar though.
it was good. There's a lot of them like that. There was also another one that was going around where it was like a Tyranid invasion on a Blood Angels ship. It was good. There's just a lot of those things, and they've just completely just gone, swiped off of YouTube because of it.
Slight tangent.
Let's switch topics.
It's still about Warhammer.
That's fine.
It's one of those things where it's like one of those universes where there's a lot that you can do with it.
Correct.
Because Bolt Gun is inherently, big space marine versus the forces of chaos, but that's only one of the aspects of the overall strife that happens in the 40k thing. And you have the entire opposite end of the spectrum with speed freaks. Like those are two. It's like they're both in
polar-
universe.
yeah.
canon, but they're polar opposite tiles. And then we also look at stuff like
Another game that recently came out
like
was
Tyranids or the Tau, or the stuff involving them, the wars between them, and the history is all like Horus Heresy. The 30K is a whole other thing in its own capacity,
30K,
and
then
it's like the sheer breadth of it all is astounding,
there's so much
and
in
there's
it.
a lot that can be done.
I compare it to a lot of other franchises that have become more settings for things rather than are like, because nothing moves the timeline in the game. You get me? Like the timeline of the game, like while you're playing it or whatever, there's no hard concrete. Oh, this happens then. This happens after the Horus Heresy. After that, once you get to 40K, the actual time that's called 40K, time doesn't matter. You get me? Nothing really moves the story along until really recently things are happening that are moving the story along, that we actually might get to 50K.
Oh, okay. Because aren't we technically in like the 41st millennium
41st
now?
millennium, yeah.
In 40K?
Correct. We're in the M41, and a lot of things have happened. Primarchs are coming back. There's 2 of them. There's rumor of more.
Guilliman, I think.
Guilliman is the big blueberry, but the lion, which is the Dark Angels, green, the ones that look like knights. I actually like knights. He has returned as well, and I think it has a lot to do with it. One, it's because all of the loyalist side, they didn't die. They just kind of wrote them out
Took a
because
nap.
that too. Well, in Johnson's case, yes, but a lot of them kind of just disappeared without like a reason for 10,000 years. They're like, oh, he went away and never was seen again. Ooh, that's basically how they hand waved it, because the Primarchs weren't really a thing until the 2000s. And Gilliman's return is recent in like times. I think within the last like 10 years. That was 2017.
Oh, that's when he woke. Shit.
That's when he came back, like to the setting, and he wasn't playable until a few years after that.
Good things are upon Warhammer,
Correct.
I think.
Yeah.
At least game and lore wise.
So the one thing is, because Game Shark
Company wise, a bunch and all that shit. But
as a company,
it's Warhammer.
as a
It's always
company,
been like that.
they've grown exponentially, like literally. They're British. They're from the UK. So let's start with
British.
How unfortunate.
So they've actually, like, the reason a lot of stuff there's been a huge problem with like receiving COVID didn't help anything. COVID actually is the reason that that Warhammer got so big, and a lot of tabletops got big because we were all stuck inside, and that was one of the communities that got really big during COVID.
Yeah.
You know, we are talking about it, you know, a lot of our friends are playing it. And it's funny, the first time I was introduced to Warhammer was back in 08, 09. I have an uncle who originally, when we started, we had talked about, no, it was later than that actually. When did we start playing D&D at your house, Ranger? 2014?
Around where we got out of high school.
Yeah, so around that time is when I found out about Warhammer from an uncle of mine, because he started playing the fantasy version, which is Age of Sigmar. And he was telling me about it, and I thought it was absolutely like crazy and boring, because it was like you had to use like measuring tapes and do all that and then do all the numbers. And now I'm looking at myself like, god damn, fucking, I would have known about. For the record, I would have been brokered then too. Now, but you know,
Yeah.
yeah. It's a good time if you like it. It's also a different type of sci-fi. It's not like Star Trek. It's not like Star Wars. It's not.
Yeah,
Although-
I'd say that's even like science fantasy because it's got orcs and elves and shit in it. It's more fantasy than fucking Star Wars is.
Science fantasy inherently as a term is like it's like
It's the.
it's a very loose science.
Yeah, it's a loose science.
I think the best the distinction is between Star Trek and Star Wars. Star Trek is science fiction. Star Wars is science fantasy. Because
correct.
Star Wars' technology isn't inherently well
Realistic.
documented. At least not without expanded. It's like there's less of a reliance on the technology of the universe, and it's
Correct.
more about the storytelling. Star Trek is also about the storytelling, but Star Trek incorporates
the science into
more
its
concrete,
storytelling.
and yeah, it incorporates the science more into the storytelling as well. Whereas like Star Wars and
Kinda-
especially 40K,
Kinda
it's
just
like more of a
hand-waves it.
backdrop than than an active part of it. It's more about the stories that get told, and
Yeah,
frankly, 40K's science and all stuff that happens there is inherently a lot less believable.
correct. It's kind of insane.
So I read somewhere it's like there's anything the 40K does really well is that it has excellent material sciences because of how everything is designed. It's like if it's regular materials like steel and shit, which I know it's not, it's like our tanks could defeat like a Bane Blade. It's like, why does it look like a World War One tank? Like what? Huh?
Because it was
Anyways.
the aesthetic was designed by for World War II. That's what it was.
Yeah.
Oh god, the Bane Blade. Oh, Kenny's printing one, and I'm so scared of that fucking thing.
Good. You should.
I know I should be, but I know who's playing it. That doesn't scare me, and I know I should be scared of the Bane Blade or Bane or Sword, whatever, the Storm Sword, whatever the fuck version he's making. There's like a dozen of them.
Anyways, I think we've talked enough Warhammer for
I
this,
agree.
this
Even
podcast.
for me, I was like, we should probably switch topics. Did anyone else bring another
Oh,
topic?
Do we have any more topics to bring?
If not, we'll go back.
Bolt
to
Gun
mine.
was mine. Do y'all got anything? Those
Well,
are
Speed Freak was
Skyrim
mine.
champions.
Um,
They want to have a non-Warhammer 40k related topic.
I do have one because I think he's asleep. Help Wanted 2. Five Nights at Freddy's.
Haven't heard much on it.
Have you seen the trailer?
Let me look
Okay,
at it right now, actually.
Well, Plastic Winking was nice enough to post it for us in
Yeah.
our Discord. I'll let you watch. Whoever wants to watch it first, I'll give you guys about a minute or so I can talk about it. I have seen it about a dozen times because I'm a little on that too.
I wonder how they're gonna do it. I'm watching it right now. Because Help Wanted 1 was that VR title, right?
also in
right.
VR.
I'm pretty sure it was Help Wanted.
Yes, it is. Help Wanted 2 is also in VR.
There were no other applicants. Gee, I wonder who we're playing.
Yeah, there's a lot of things I want to talk about this trailer.
This seems inherently different from what the first Help Wanted put forward. Because the first Help Wanted was just like FNAF and VR shit.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
yeah, so this is the first teaser trailer for it.
This looks a lot more like it's gonna focus on
So the first Help Wanted.
what was it called? Sister Location.
Yeah, the first. So how it was described to us in the when they did an interview recently for them was the first game covered for the first 3 games, the first 4 games, excuse me, the first 4 games. So FNAF 1, 2, 3, and 4, and added a little more stuff to it. The next set is going to be Sister Location, Ultimate, was it Ultimate Custom Night and FNAF? I forget the other one's name. Pizza Simulator, all those.
That makes sense. Why did I think the first Help Wanted did everything? It didn't.
It didn't do a lot of the, it didn't do all of the later games. So and it's interesting when you listen to the first thing. It's like, oh, well, welcome back for week 2, and I was like, that means we've had to have completed week 1, and there's a lot of implications lore wise for that, and I don't want to get in. Well, we could get into that honestly.
I mean, you can if you want.
I might. The implications that we come back for week 2 means that Michael would have come back again for it, and the implication is that it's because the place is supposed to be like completely destroyed or whatever after it. So that's why the elevator goes all the way down, and Balora's still down there. Makes no sense. So it's like, I don't know where to go because she's supposed to.
No,
be
I get you. I get you.
She's supposed to be an Ennard, and Ennard's supposed to scoop Michael. But Michael can't go back there for like it's actually like 6 to 8 months that he's in their body, Ennard's in his body. I think that's what it was. Like you only get those cutscenes, but like in the books, it's like he's like a flesh suit for like 6 to 8 months after he spits them out. And I'm like, okay, so after 8 months, he decides to come back. Why? You get me? I have more questions than I have answers, and I don't like that. But that's how the series has been. It always solves 1 or 2 questions, then we ask like a dozen more. I know I have. Has anyone else kept up with it?
What specifically?
The games, the lore in general, where everybody kind of
FNAF? Not really. No, I had a big stint a while back. Cause I was thinking about like Ultimate Custom Night and who you play as, and like the thought theories behind all of that. But I haven't really thought about FNAF in a while.
There have been a couple of the really good theories as the community has gone together, and a lot of new faces. I do recommend going to see the newest sets of game theories because he worked with a lot of people that are new to the scene with a lot of new ideas that make it fits a lot better now. If you watch those four videos, because it gets into a lot of like more of a narrative kind of storytelling, which is really nice when you start putting the pieces together that way.
I actually never watched the game theory videos for the game. For FNAF.
Interesting. I didn't. I watched them all. Well, I also like Mad Pat. That's another thing too.
His content was, I watched some of it, but not a lot of it. He wasn't someone I regularly consumed content from, so I never really had a reason to. I watched what the fuck did I watch? I watched Markiplier's playthrough of it, but I also watched just like other content creators' views on it. I actually don't think I really watched a like lore theorization video. I kind of just
So it's funny when you say that.
came up with the ideas.
I think
With my-
once a month while at work, I'll put on the playlist of all of the theories and listen to them at work, all of them, because I think it's 10 hours worth exactly. If you start from his first FNAF theory to now, they're like 15-20 minutes the most each of them. It's a lot of them, I admit. He's like at 45 right now.
There was also like a wiki that I had read that wasn't really well put together, but because I already knew enough about the lore, I was able to kind of piece together my own stuff about it.
It does suck that plastic is asleep,
Yeah, I know.
because he wanted to talk about it. But yeah, there's a lot of new people on the scene that if you want to get into the newer stuff, the newer stuff is kind of interesting, because it's, instead of it being like hidden behind it's kind of vague, you required to read the books, and the books are like, oh, this is exactly how X, Y, and Z happened. It explains it 100% exactly what we're seeing. I'm like, oh, cool, this is nice. This is weird. It doesn't give it like 100%, but it kind of gives you what kind is going on, but like it gives it enough where I can keep up with it, and that's how you know it's good. It's like easy enough for everybody to get it. You get me? Like, my stuff is the bar, and my bar is I'm the low bar.
Also, like the distinction between like game lore and book lore. I know that was a thing.
That was
Like,
a thing for
they're two inherently different things.
Okay, so what it ended up happening was, once I think the new series that came out, the Phasmic Fright books, and the new ones that are like the ones with the Pizzaplex, those are almost direct. They're not exactly, oh, they use the characters from the game, but they are. Yes, it's a whole different thing, like Security Breach and all that. All those games are all those stories are kind of set in a world that this place existed, but it uses different characters and different examples of what's happening. It's basically like in like DC or Marvel and all that stuff, where like it's the multiverse thing, where like this always happens in one way, shape, or form, just differently, but this is how it's done. So you take a piece from here, a piece from there, a piece from here, a piece from there, because it's all canon, but it's not all what's it called? Everything's canon to the franchise of the world. So everything exists in the same world, you get me? But it's the story in the books doesn't directly mean that it's the same story that's happening in the game. It just means that those things that are in the books could and might be possibly could be a part of the game.
Okay.
So you could say, well, does any of this line up to the game? Yes, no, kind of. And that's what everything's kind of been based off. There's a lot of stuff that happens in the games that match up with the book stuff, and some that don't. And we're like, well, what are these examples are? And or it's a lot like how if you're into horror reading, they're actually kind of good. I've read a few of them myself. They're kind of like Goosebumps books. If you guys ever read those.
No, I didn't read those.
They're kind of like, they're short enough stories where like, yeah, they're a horror concept. And it's something that would be not as spooky, and then they make it spooky, or like FNAFify it.
Yeah.
They're interesting reads. I've read most of the first of the not the first 3 books, but the ones after the second series. I started listening to those on Audible. Not sponsored by Audible.
Yeah, no, I haven't kept up with FNAF really.
Yeah,
I was weird because I remember I said Security Breach. There's a reason why it's like after like everything after like
I think it was
I want to say Ultimate Custom Night is like, it's like you can take it's kind of like there's another series where it's like this, where you can take the lore and whatever chunks that you want, because there's people who would like say like, yeah, 1, 2, they only think it's like they'll only like hey, it's 1, 2, and 3, and then the rest of the games that got made, like it's not canon to them. It's like they don't believe it. And for me, it's like from 1 to, I almost kind of want to say Help Wanted, but I think the hard cut is at Ultimate Custom Night, or no, Pizzeria Simulator. Wait, what came first, Pizzeria Simulator or UNC?
UNC is what is the hell that you play in after Pizzeria Simulator.
Yeah,
because
yeah, it's like, because Security Breach just.
It is.
It's a Security Breach.
Yeah, it's Security Breach. So the only thing about it is now is
and one reason why I'm iffy about I'm iffy about Help Wanted is because Security Breach was like what it was, and Security Breach is built off of some of the stuff that Help Wanted to establish, like Vanny specifically.
Yeah. So there's so much things that we don't know. And I think that's the problem with the series, is like you can't judge the next thing until you've seen it, because you don't know what it adds the last few things. Like everything's building up together, and if you're missing a giant chunk, you're like, well, fuck, I don't know what these questions are, and you're gonna give me more questions with this next game. Like you're only compiling shit, and it doesn't like you're building off stuff that's in this game, but half the stuff in this game I don't know where it fits, how it fits. You get me?
Yeah.
As a guy who's in the community quite often, reading the Reddits, being a part of the channels, do all that stuff like Rytoast and Dako and all that stuff. The biggest consumption is there's either two options that the main things happen. Either everything exists, so everything actually happened, right?
Mm-hmm.
Which is harder to explain, but there is an explanation for it. It just requires a lot of paying attention. Like there's a 30-page documents where it hammers every inch of the timeline perfectly, and it kind of makes sense enough for you to kind of buy it. The other option is the first three games of the fourth game are in Help Wanted, right? So those were the finished product of the game developer in Help Wanted. So all those games didn't happen, right? And then the new timeline is starting with Help Wanted, Security Breach, and the AR game, Special Delivery.
So what, basically saying that 1 through Pizzeria Simulator were legitimately just actually video games?
No, just 1, 2, 3, and the events of what the other three that did happen and were just not documented. Those were actual events that happened. These people were dead and actually happened. You get me? Like William's dead, Henry's dead, all that is actually that they've died. And I'm like, I don't like the second one because the second one is a cop out and I don't like it either. The first one is more convoluted, but you can get there.
Yeah, honestly, I think that's just a big part of the problem, though. There's like, it's so convoluted because there's been so many games with so many different intentions behind them. It's like inherently obtuse to kind of justify everything that has happened in every single game. It's frankly, if I'm being,
It's a lot.
this is all nerd shit.
Correct.
This is stuff that people are, arguing about and bickering about that doesn't really matter, but they like arguing about it. And I get it. I love thinking about, I love kind of making my own theories about, like, specifically about Ultimate Custom Night and who you play as, and, the timeline and all that shit, and, like, who was Golden Freddy and all that shit. And all that was really fun. But it's kind of gotten to the point now where it's just, there's a lot. There's obviously a very different design direction happening for the game now, especially since Scott Cawthon left.
It's weird that we say he left, but he's fully in charge of everything they're doing still. Again, because he has full control of the IP. Because that was the thing about the movie. The reason the movie kept fucking getting delayed is because he was like, nope, I don't want it. Do it again. Rewrite it. Because I think that's also the big thing. I think that's also the big thing about when you look at bigger IPs. I'm gonna throw this name in there, like Rings of Power with Lord of the Rings and the Powerpuff Girls spin-off, the live action stuff. Where like once someone says, I don't like this, redo it.
Didn't
you get me? And a lot of people kind of like, oh, I'll give you X amount of money if you just let me make the show how I want it. And most people are gonna say, cool. Scott's not that way, and that's cool about him. Where he's like, I don't care about the money. This isn't right. I don't want it. And when you see stuff go wrong, Exhibit A, Rings of Power, where that show was not. There's no way that show is still in the same world as Lord of the Rings and The Hobbit are. It just isn't. There's just too much disconnect, and it's not even about like the race, the like Black Elf. It's not none of that. It's just the way it was told just doesn't fit.
Yeah,
it's the same. It's the same feeling of how you go from playing. I think it's the first 3 games of FNAF, and then playing Sister Location, where like the genre has shifted a bit from this is kind of like horror ghost kind of thing, a little bit more sci-fi, and you can feel it.
Yeah, just the general tone shift of it all.
Yeah.
Well,
I'm excited. I'm excited for. There's a lot of games that are coming out this year that I'm excited for, which is weird because I don't play a lot of games.
Can't say the same. I actually can't really think of any right now.
Yeah, the other game that's coming out this year, plays Space Marine 2. I can't wait to play.
I mean,
and
the Warhammer stuff we've already talked about. Yeah.
Starfield.
Oh, Starfield! I forgot about that.
I think
that's good.
I really hope it's good. I haven't seen anything about it recently. It's supposedly to be coming out at the end of the year. Bethesda, you know how it is. Bethesda's trying to look for another new IP like Fallout, like Rage, like with id and that kind of stuff. They were trying to look for another IP to set up. I really hope it is, man, because like, how many of you guys actually played Skyrim like fully?
I did. Once, and then I played mods like fucking crazy.
I haven't played it. It seems like the game that would be perfect for me, and I just can't get into it.
I'll be right back.
It's like even with mods and all that stuff, like it just doesn't. It's not like how Fallout puts me into the game. And there's something. It's like the aesthetic is exactly what I would want. I like fantasy. I like all that stuff. It just doesn't. With me. Is Brooklyn
I
still
thought
here?
that at first, and then
Brooklyn?
Yeah, I'm here.
Oh, okay. You've just been awfully quiet.
I have no opinions on anything.
What do you have an opinion on?
Beef hot dogs are superior.
That's not a opinion. That is fact.
No, some people like the chicken pork mix.
And so
I
yeah,
don't
and some
understand it. They're
yeah,
wrong.
Some people are wrong. Yes, beef is 100% superior for your wieners. Also, don't go with that vegan, plant only.
Ugh.
Ugh. I've had one. No.
I've had a couple.
No.
Sometimes, listen, sometimes at the end of lunch at Jew camp, that's all that's left over.
Then you starve.
And if you're in serving duty, you're boned unless you got someone to set one aside for you. Which, yeah, that was definitely doable.
Mhm.
But you didn't know the first time.
Yeah, no. We talked about
They're
this.
awful.
I talked about this
You
recently.
can't mustard them out, like, because you know how
No.
mustard is the strong one?
Mhm.
So, like, the strat is mustard and, like, relish? You can't.
It has such
It's
a
just-
potent taste.
It's like a fake garlic taste? I don't know.
It felt. Well, I was gonna say like it tastes like grass. Like have you ever just?
Which one did you have?
I don't know. There's a guy at work. There's a company that comes from work that sells it, and we all got one different one from the vendor, and one of them got the vegan one, and it just, oh my god, it smelled differently too.
What's up?
I believe
nerds?
all we had was tofu dogs.
No, it was. I don't know if it was tofu, but it was like they looked green.
Well, we called them tofu dogs. I don't know what they were. I was never really in the kitchen for that.
Mhm.
But that's what I ate, and it wasn't great.
Also, I can't get
Wait,
behind.
what are you guys talking about?
Fake meats.
What
Fake
is the
meat?
best hot dog meat for you?
Hot dog
This
meat, like
isn't the
actual meat or
euphemism.
fake meat?
Yes, actual meat. Or,
Okay.
well, first off, real meat, and then we'll discuss the alternatives.
Hot dog?
Sausage, wiener.
Sausage. Wiener. Fucking
Hog.
hog.
Your penis.
Hog.
Well, go on.
I
Come
mean,
on.
I think there's something to be said about just like
Don't say it. I'll whack you.
No, let him say it.
Okay.
What do you
Okay,
believe?
okay.
Whatever you believe, just say it.
Say it.
what the I did.
Say it.
There
bitch.
might be a correct opinion, but it doesn't matter. We need your opinion. All that goes for you too, Wise, considering you're alive.
Okay, so it's kind of like how I feel about American cheese, where there's better cheese in it, and there's better forms of like things you could have in a hot dog in terms of sausage. But I think there's something to be said about just like the regular old made processed Frank, like the one you get in like an 8-pack.
What sort of meat?
What's hard to me? I don't know. What is it? Pork usually?
Hmm.
Maybe I don't know what's in it. It's like
Are we accepting that answer? Because I was gonna go with the chicken one.
I don't. It's okay. We're talking. Okay. We're talking about that. Okay, like actual meat. I don't give a shit. I prefer like like 4-legged animal. But I guess I'll have a turkey dog
The chicken
Or
one's
chicken-
not the
or a
worst.
chicken
The chicken one's
frankfurter.
not
You
worse.
know.
I don't think I've ever actually had a turkey one.
I don't have a. I've never had a turkey one. Oh, I guess I have to
I've
go try
definitely
some.
had
I
chicken
think I
and
thought
like
about the
chicken
question
pork
too hard.
mix.
No, yeah, no. We
I thought your scope was a lot more was a lot narrower than that. Okay,
No.
sorry.
no. We were like.
I believe beef is best.
I also agree.
I haven't
Beef,
determined
pork.
if like cuts matter because I don't think I've had a specific cut of sausage yet. Partly because I don't think you can, because you still need like that fatty gumminess of it all,
Mm.
which you get from like organs or head or whatever. Because I've had like the Angus dogs, and Angus dogs are great. They're great if that's what you're into. That saltiness.
Mm-hmm.
But if it's not, then like, you know.
Look, man, ain't nothing wrong with a good sausage. That was a dick joke.
Yeah, I guess I guess if you're having like a breakfast burrito situation, the chicken one is pretty good.
Yeah, I'm not saying they're bad. I'm just saying there's a better option. And I agree with Ranger. Like American cheese is the same way. It's like are there better
They're all
options?
great because they're all salty and savory and
Correct.
well, good. And if they're snappy, even better.
It's not
But
just taste; it's consistency and texture and.
the
a lot
snappy
of-
beef, like small intestine-ness,
Cheese. I'm kind of a. I'll eat it.
it
I'll eat
depends on what the like dish or meal or situation is. You know, it's not
Yeah.
just there's one objective one.
Cheese is yeah.
I
cheese
guess
is-
there can be if you're just eating cheese, but
Yeah,
I don't
cheese
do
is
that. That's
subjective, man.
weird.
Cheese is subjective.
Blue cheese.
No, that's the wrong cheese.
Even the
Moldy
lowest
cheese.
forms of foods have their place. I love cheap spaghetti. We're talking like
You ever been to the spaghetti factory?
No,
No.
actually.
You should go.
I have been
it's
told it's not good.
like not like any fancy shit. We're talking it's like your basic bitch spaghetti, dried spaghetti, basic bitch sauce, basic bitch meatballs, and especially basic bitch parmesan. Like
I was
the
told,
Dude, you described my. First off, I see nothing wrong with that meal. Let's go with that.
no, there's nothing wrong with it. I love it. It's
I love that
one of
meal
my
too.
favorite things to have.
Yeah, I still have some from earlier this week when Karina made some. Love that woman.
So I think like this is my opinion, but it's like food can sometimes be the complexity of the food can sometimes I'll say override, but
What of the experience?
be overrated.
Ah.
Where it's like there's nothing wrong with being basic and getting good results. That's how I feel. The grilled cheeses, or how I feel about American cheese. Like American cheese is good on like it's American slices like that are objectively bad, but they're good on like grilled cheeses or on cheeseburgers. Like
Eat boba?
hell, just like a cold. It's like
Was it a cold
two
cut?
pieces of white bread, some mayonnaise, a slice of bologna, and a slice of American cheese.
Mm,
Maybe mustard
God, I
if you're
love
lucky.
a bologna sandwich.
Bologna sandwiches. There you go.
that was
Like
lunch.
that's so unfathomably basic. But there's something about it,
No,
There's just something about it.
I know the feeling, man. And there's nothing wrong with it either. I love that. I
An
love those
onion
meals.
slice.
All right, now
If you're into it, a little bit of mater sauce. Yeah. Toasted bologna.
Mm.
You gotta
Mm.
like cut slits into it so it doesn't cup as well. Fuck, I want a bologna sandwich.
I had some earlier this week. I had them for lunch. That's typically what
I
have
don't
for lunch.
just have bologna. I gotta go buy bologna.
Oh, I have bologna and I also have ham for my sandwiches. How my lunches consist of is she makes it with mayo and then two
Think you got
slices of cheese, 2 slices of ham, and a bologna in the middle.
I don't do sandwiches now that I think about it.
Why don't you?
Just not into the bread.
Do you just not like bread in general, or is it the bread you buy?
I like bread.
Okay.
I just don't eat it often.
I eat it very often, and I think that's kind of the reason it's really hard for me to go keto.
Same.
Oh, keto bread. You ever have it?
No,
No.
It's that crumbly shit.
crumbling,
It can be good.
but no, definitely with the sandwich bit. Now I kind of want a sandwich. And okay, real talk. What bread do you use for the sandwich?
I love Wonder Bread.
Oh.
Straight up, like,
Okay, you went
cheap
with brand.
ass Wonder Bread.
Cheap. Do you know how it's fucking expensive? Have you not gone to the market?
It's on the
recently?
cheaper end.
I guess that's fair.
You can
So it's
always
also
go
not
for
bad.
that, like, artisanal type of shit.
I don't like it
That's gonna run you, like, about 5-ish, maybe more,
because
per loaf. And it's not really a big loaf, but that shit's good, though. Wonder Bread's, it's solid.
Karina has hooked me on this Hawaiian bread, like this, like sliced, like
The
like
slice,
a loaf.
yeah, they make burger buns and, like, other stuff as well. It's pretty good.
They have like a
But
sliced Wonder.
it's way too sweet.
I love it. I love it because it's sweet, and like something about it being sweet with the mayo and the cheese. It just I don't know what it does, man.
Oh,
It's like how-
God, that's...
It's the exact opposite of how sourdough tastes, and I also like that too.
I don't like mayo.
Well, I do. It's like mayo, man.
Hmm.
Have you ever just had a mayo tortilla?
No,
I've been,
actually.
I've been there, man. I've been that broke before. It's good.
I don't like buy mayo really. Like I've been buying it recently just out of habit, and I realized I don't like it. I just use it because that's what I buy. So I just have stopped buying it.
I was gonna say, does your mom eat it?
Nope.
What the fuck? Where does all your mayo go? Does it just go bad?
Yeah.
Oh, god damn it.
So I just stopped buying it.
Okay, good.
My I wouldn't call my family mayonnaise connoisseurs, but we go through quite a good amount of it. And
Also, keep in mind
there was
that
a
there's
while
like 8 of you. There's 4 of
back.
you.
Yeah, it's like how milk family as well. There was a while back where we needed mayonnaise for burgers, and we didn't want. My dad didn't want to drive all the way to the Ralph's that we usually go to. So but there's a Sprouts pretty close to my house,
Oh god, I know
and
where
he
this
went
story's
and he
going.
got Sprouts brand mayonnaise, and it was awful.
Awful. Yep.
It was awful. It didn't taste right, and the texture was
Did it
like,
taste healthy?
you know, mayonnaise has that texture to it.
Correct.
This didn't.
What texture?
You know,
did it have?
mayonnaise has like not lumpy, but like it has like a certain
It has almost like a slimy consistency.
slimy, gelatinous one. This
Yeah.
mayonnaise didn't have that. It was too like smooth and
Was it
like
like ranch?
no, it was like it wasn't gelatinous. Like okay.
Okay.
I was reminded of how when you like take a knife and you put it through I want to say Jello, but like it's like peanut butter. It's not like that consistency, but it was just like very smooth and very uniform. Whereas mayonnaise usually has like a gelatinous sliminess.
Yeah, they kind of like
slime-like
clumps and it kind of like
Yeah,
I don't.
and pockets.
Yeah.
Like air like.
I have a particular fondness for that like lemon mayonnaise, that Mexican branded like the one that's spelled mayonesa
yes.
with the
Yeah. I have. A
I
thing
think
about that.
that's my preferred of those
But I wouldn't put that
mayonnaise,
on
I guess, or
sandwich, though.
mayo.
I wouldn't put that on a sandwich.
I would.
Like I only, so this is how dumb it is because I've never seen it in a smaller form. My parents bought like the big tub that comes in.
There's a big tub.
I've only ever seen it in the big tub, the big tub of it, and we use it to make esquites. And to
That makes sense.
and to
That's-
justify that,
you
like
skip
for
a step there, yeah.
yeah, for like so that we bought it because we didn't have that mayo. They wanted that mayo. So to make a long story short, like we ate esquites like every Saturday for like a few months to actually kill that thing to justify it because like it just tastes different. It doesn't taste like regular mayo. Also, I'm gonna be a snooty bitch about this. I only buy certain brands of certain like condiments. I don't know if you guys do, but I have
I
this
don't think I
one-
have a mustard brand yet.
I do, and I have.
I'm going through a Heinz phase. I think I'm
I'm
gonna
on
go to
Heinz.
Grey Poupon next.
I don't. All French.
Ooh, Grey Poupon.
I've only heard good things about it, so
Interesting.
I'm gonna try it. I like the stronger like mustards, you know.
That's fair.
I know you're not a big fan, Mark. I don't
I
think
don't-
you can have it actually.
Yeah, it's because I can't. That's more of the problem.
Yeah.
Like the Heinz and the French mustard is good. I'm not saying it's bad. I like mustard. It
So
just-
far, I think I prefer French's.
yeah, I do like French's. I do have French's. in the
I'm midway
fridge.
through my Heinz bottle.
Yeah, I have French's here. I only eat Heinz ketchup, and every fucking time I know I'm gonna go eat at Ken's, I bring my own bottle of Heinz ketchup. And I've done it where I've come and I've bought him a Heinz.
Is he a
ketchup.
Hunt's guy?
He's a Hunt's guy. Oh no, he's a Del
I don't
Monte.
think I
He's
have
a
a
Held Del
preferred
Monte.
ketchup.
He's a Held Del
Oh
Monte.
nah.
And I was like, nah, I will buy you ketchup. Don't worry about it. I'll come and buy you ketchup. And I bought him the Costco like 3-pack.
No, that Del Monte stuff don't look right.
No, it's almost it's more
Something
water,
ain't right
dude.
about
It's like fucking water. And I'm like, no,
It don't look right.
no, here.
No, I actually like. Have you seen the catsup from like Mexico or Beanerland? I guess
No,
the canned stuff.
I have not. I am intrigued though.
It's
Yeah.
not bad. It's basically like you said, watered down ketchup, and it's a lot sweeter. Just spray that shit on fries. It's honestly really good, but it's a different, sweeter ketchup. Whereas we have a tangier situation going
Yeah.
on. It's weird. I like it personally, but I'm not really much of a ketchup guy.
What
I'll
is-
throw it on with like a burger
What is
or a
it-
hot dog sometimes.
And then I only eat the mayo. I can't remember the name of the mayo on the top of my head because I can't pronounce it. But it's the one with the blue lid, and it has the yellow.
Del Monte? They make mayonnaise.
No man, you make mayonnaise? No. Best
No.
Foods.
Best food.
Or
Best
food
uh,
mayo.
Hell something or other.
Hell Heinz and yeah, best foods.
I-
Like those are like the three main ones. Or like I don't let Karina buy anything else. It's like it's more expensive. I don't care. I will pay it. Okay. I have. Oh, and then Fat Boy has forbidden me from using anything other than Hidden Valley Ranch. Good night, my love.
Hens is better.
Hens is better. He does admit to that.
Hens buttermilk is better.
But
And it's not too much more expensive.
do they sell it?
You can just buy that bottled stuff.
I don't think he knows.
Skill issue.
I think so.
Open your eyes while shopping. He does shop, right?
No one in that house does grocery shopping.
Fuck does grocery.
Who do
Do
you
you do the
fuck-
grocery
Yes.
shopping for them?
Yes. Okay.
All right.
I do my own grocery
Well-
shopping and I do theirs. And it's never by
You
choice.
should do you guys a solid. And I mean yourself as well here.
I have not bought a bottle of ranch since I've lived in this house because Fat Boy eats at this house in my house more often than he eats at his own, and he just.
I said what I
leaves-
said.
I'm aware. I'm aware of what you're saying. I'm just telling you that I haven't bought bottle ranch, so I haven't needed to buy ranch. He buys his own ranch, and he just leaves it here. I have 2 bottles of ranch in the fridge right now.
God,
Also, why do we have?
I
Like,
don't go through ranch like that, man.
He does, and we have like 6 different bottles of barbecue sauce. Oh, 2? Okay, I thought we had more. Oh, and the A1s. Yo, A1 sauce. I have not seen another steak sauce. God, he snored.
Oh, he snores.
He snored. Yeah, I haven't seen another steak sauce. Like,
Like there's store brand stuff, probably, right?
yeah, but like
There's
another,
probably like a Kroger one or something.
like a brand, another brand like that. I don't know one.
I don't know.
It's interesting.
I don't really buy steak sauce.
I do. It's very rare when I actually do use it myself. I know Karina likes using it more for like her stuff. Because normally I make like for like meat and stuff, I'll make like a salsa or I'll make like a chimichurri or something like that. That goes with it.
Butter sauce.
Butter. I haven't done a butter sauce, but
They're
normally
really good, but it's also incredibly decadent.
Mhm.
Like you're taking minutes off your life probably at that point.
I also
Like
do
measurable minutes.
oh shit. I also do like marinates a lot more, so like the meat's a different color when I go to cook it. But I think we should what the we should probably kill it here, guys. We should end it here.
Say again?
I
Sure.
think we should end it here.
Do we have anything else you want to talk about? Because technically we're recording this now. We don't have
That
a
is true.
time frame to worry about. If we have more stuff to talk about, we could.
I know
Up
I
to y'all.
don't because I use my 2. I didn't really have anything to go for this podcast. I think it's also because the things that I did want to bring up kind of already talked about, like the Warhammer stuff you were gonna bring up, and I was like, cool. I brought up Speed Freak, and then I did the FNAF thing. But I didn't have anything really. Oh, and we kept getting fucking community strikes.
Kept getting? Do we get another
Yeah,
one?
what's that
haven't.
about?
So the first one I completely understand why. I reviewed the footage of what it was me playing Black Ops, and I completely get what it was. And I kept saying fucking Jew a lot. So I
All
deleted
right.
it. Yeah.
Wow, okay.
Perfectly got it. Understood the assignment. The second one, I haven't reviewed it. Is the podcast number 10, we need therapist. And
Didn't you delete that?
I didn't delete it. It's still in a review. It's not available on YouTube though. So we can see it because we are owners of the channel. So
Okay.
we would have to review it and see it. The thing is until August 20th. So we can review it and watch it and see where it's at. Yeah, we can begin a review and see where it's at. Like it doesn't tell
Gotcha.
you when.
That sounds about right.
Yeah, so it's hate speech, content glorifying or indicating inciting violence against another person or group of people is not allowed on YouTube. We also don't allow any content that encourages hate on other people or groups of people. We review educational, documentary, artist, and scientific content as case-by-case basis.
Didn't you postulate it was like something about like some creeper genocide or something like that?
It is one of the early ones where it was creeper genocide, and because it's a video where we're playing Minecraft for most of it, where I'm playing, where you and I are playing on the B team, not the B team, the the RNA server, and it was at point where we'd have to go back and review, but I 100% think it's creeper genocide, because that word, it gets flagged a lot too.
Yeah, that checks out.
Watch might get edited in this. God damn it.
I mean, good thing we're recording this. We should
Correct.
edit it out or bleep it. Actually, I heard YouTube like penalizes you for bleeping or something like that. I heard that a while ago though.
It doesn't help you with the monetization, so it does the same shit if you would not leave it either way.
Yeah, so like probably just blank it out.
Mhm.
Or just not put it in there, you know?
Yeah, it might just. Oh my god, there's just so many little things that it could be. Like I picked a random time at an hour at an hour, and I'm saying, everybody's shitting on mint chocolate chip. Everybody go fuck themselves. I'm like, that could have been it. Could have been any of that. So it's like, it would require us to do an extensive review of that video, which is 2 hours and 46 minutes.
Oh god.
And to do that'd
Yeah.
be rough.
We'll do that as a live thing. Every video gets restrictors and we all review it live and see what's wrong with it.
Honestly, considering us, it could be anything.
It could be
We're a
literally
pretty
anything.
unhinged group,
So the thing
unfortunately,
about it is-
especially back then. Especially back
The
then.
thing about it is, that was 10. I know we did worse in like fucking all of them. All of them could be flagged for anything. It has to be
Yeah,
something.
That's kind of the minefield we've set for us at this point,
Yeah.
unfortunately.
So there's two options that can really go down. If the channel gets a second strike, the option is to save all of the videos on a drive, which would require a mass storage drive somewhere that I don't have. We would need like a good 4 terabytes worth of video, and I
Goddamn 4 terabytes.
not sure of how much that's feasibly possible.
Yeah.
The
I mean,
second,
4 terabytes is not unfeasible. It's
it's
just a
not-
lot.
it's not a lot, but we'd also download that, and it would take some time.
Oh god, how long would it take to download 4 terabytes?
I have no idea. It would also it would,
I know you got like better internet than most of us.
yeah, I have no idea, and I know that would take a cool minute. The other thing is, if it falls off and we get another one within the next until August 20th, we get 2, and we cannot upload for a month. So that might push us back.
Yeah,
quite a
and then we get a
bit.
third one, and then we're done.
Once the third one is done. So the thing is, if we get the third one, we just restart the channel somewhere.
We'll start
The
off with
Reckless
season 2.
Podcast, the Reckless Crew 2,
We really did Unasanas ourselves.
inadvertently.
Yeah. So that might
Instead
be
of deleting it, we get ourselves elite by saying stupid shit.
so that might be the way it goes. Which Ranger and I, we kind of know that that wouldn't be the absolute worst problem to face because of what Turtle has told us and stuff like that. I don't.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's right.
that
Maybe
could be a thing.
it's like
We
something
choose a name with more hot words in it.
more
Correct.
hot words.
What are we gonna put?
fuck,
Twink?
the
That's
Gay
not
Boy
what I mean by how it
Podcast.
works.
Oh, the Nazi podcast.
No, like I don't like the Kingdom something or other.
Okay, but yeah,
You know, those games that don't actually have any real gameplay. They're like slots or whatever, and it's just 2 hot words thrown together.
okay.
Kingdom Come.
I
That'd be
guess,
that'd be
sure,
fun.
if those
That'd
are
be
too hot
I
hilarious.
words.
don't know. I don't fucking know. That'd be stupid. That'd be
Yeah,
so
it's so
fucking stupid.
I've
Kingdom's
heard
name.
Kingdom something. I do not remember the second word.
Kingdom Slots.
Kingdom-
I keep
Journey
wanting to
or
say
something
Hearts,
like
but no,
that.
that's an actual like Disney game, I think.
Correct. So there's that. I guess. It's also like this is content from like years, literally a couple years ago. I mean, I know Wise has options to see it, Ranger. I know you have abilities to see it. Yeah, and then my other channel has a personal one to see it, which would absolutely suck if it does get shot down because this is the account that I use all of my other stuff with. So that would suck. I don't know if it just gets rid of the channel or my Google account, which would fucking suck.
Ooh, that suck.
Would suck. So one thing about it that
I
happened
hope
recently,
it's just channel.
I hope it's just the channel. I had a thing with Bank of America recently and Google that happened where Google flagged my account on because like how you would go and like use your phone to tap stuff with it. It got flagged and it got not canceled, but it was like, oh, your account is like on hold. I was like, the fuck? So I called Bank of America. I was like, no, your card's fine, right? So I was like, that's weird. So about a month passed and I wouldn't use the tap. I got my card or whatever, and I tried to do it again, and it kept saying that. I'm like, what the fuck? So I went to a Bank of America. They tried to figure it out for about 45 minutes. And like, nothing is wrong with your card, and nothing is stopping you from using it. Like, I'm aware of that. What's going on? Like, well, call Google. I called Google. I think I talked about this.
You
And
just
then
have like NFC mode off.
no. So they had
Okay.
flagged my account because my Google account at the time when the channel was made, to get the name of the channel that we had, it didn't say, it was like first name Marco, last name Rodriguez. No, the first name was Arsenal, and the second, like, the name of the channel was Arsenal 124, and last name Arsenal 1, and last name was 124. So it would show up as Arsenal 124 on the title, right? So when you searched it, it would show up that. And back then, that was perfectly fine. They did you know how they've been updating a lot of stuff for YouTube. It got flagged because, well, the name, right? And I was like, okay. No one had I didn't get an email. No one mentioned anything to me. So I eventually was on the phone with this guy. It's like, is your name Arsenal? It's like, that is my channel's name. Like, oh, yeah, that's what's wrong. Just put your actual name that's on the card, and you're fine. So it was fine with the channel. Is the moment that I started using it, because the Google account is connected to my phone as well. So it's like the moment I started using my credit card, it was like the names don't match. You can't use it. Yeah, I don't have anything else you guys want to bring up. Do you guys want to bring up anything?
Honestly, not really. I could talk about I guess on the this is what I'm going to bring up earlier when we talk about science stuff. But on the topic of YouTube shit, there's been this thing recently where not even recently, it's been a thing that's happening, but more attention's been brought called to it, where there are certain like science themed YouTube channels that like try to promote like scientific stuff that is like, there's like a lot of them, and they're all kind of like, there's a lot of them. They're all very generic. They're all are very clickbaity, and they all are pumping out content at an unfathomable rate. And I posted a video. It was Kyle Hill, an actual prominent science YouTuber, talked about it, and how basically what's happening is that somebody or a group of people is using AI to generate YouTube videos. Not like actually generate the video, but generate the script for the video, the thumbnail for the video. They're using text to speech for the voices of the video. So if you do click on one of them, you'll get like this robot voice reading stuff to you, and it's just so low ball, very clickbaity and very disingenuous. Like some of the stuff they talk about actually isn't even like real science. It's more just like the whatchamacallit, the veneer of science more, and just trying to get you to click on the video, because it's like there's like 20 of these channels, probably even more, probably all run by the same people that are doing it for the money. And I don't know if you guys have noticed that on YouTube, if you click on like a science video, and it's just kind of really not necessarily low effort, but just like painfully generic, and especially with a text-to-speech voice. I don't know if you guys have done that at all, or have accidentally clicked on any of those videos. Maybe
I
just
know,
me.
I know,
Not that I
haven't.
remember, but I definitely get those ads, those shitty voice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know I haven't because I don't. I haven't seen any of them. I know I've seen them like the thumbnails. But
It entirely depends on the type of YouTube videos you watch.
yeah, I was gonna bring that up. That's not something that normally I would watch either way, unless I was looking for something like that.
I guess it's less about the actually what's happening, like the science videos. I'm more about what's happening behind the scenes, the utilization of artificial intelligence to pump out content like this. And hey, maybe if they didn't use a really obvious text-to-speech voice, AI is just gonna get better in that regard. Like, it's pretty obvious when you click on one of them, but it
Mhm.
might be hard to really tell the difference in like a couple years of like somebody maliciously using AI for their own gain and making shallow, boring content, and a lot of it. Because we're talking, they're posting videos like every hour across 20 channels.
Seems like a cheaper version of interns.
Yeah, I was about to say.
Yep, there you go.
What it
It's not the
reminds what it reminds me
Go
of a lot. I don't know if you guys have I know I've fallen victim to it. Is a lot of the AI voices for like the presidents.
Oh
like,
yeah, it's
President-
that
Yeah,
stuff
President
as
John
well.
shit.
Yeah.
Like some of them are kind of funny, and like I know some of them, are kind of whatever, and other ones are just like, all right, this is trash. This is just trash. This is just trash TV. And the thing about it is, a lot of people are just into that, which is a problem. You get me? Like just watching. Is it trash in the sense where it's like fake science, or is it just, or did I miss something?
What do you mean? What?
It's like those are like those videos. Is it just because is it like the science is it actually science? Is it just made up?
It's actual science, like topics, science news, like, oh, scientists found this thing on Mars, and it's like a really misleading thumbnail of like a shark coming out of like Neptune or something, or it's like
Mm.
an AI generated image, or talk about like, oh, Tesla bad, Elon Musk, blah 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 blah, Michio Kaku, blah blah blah, like just really low hanging fruit science shit.
Yeah, I think
That's gonna grab the attention of the casual viewer,
I was gonna say
because
yeah,
anybody who's
into that.
actually involved in any of that stuff can smell the bullshit a mile away. But to the casual viewer, it's like it's all for clicks. It's using AI to pump out clickbait content to get views, to get money.
Yeah, and I think
That is the foundation of this all.
I think this is the newest form of it because that happened a while back, not with AI, but with the kind of clickbait aimed at a different demographic. Like a lot of the and like animated channels for like that would use like popular characters like FNAF, like Huggy from what's it called? Poppy's Playtime and those kind of games where like the content is literal just
Oh yeah, Elsagate. Shit.
yeah, it was just trash, literally just trash. But like it was designed to just get people like to get like it's clickbait, just a bunch of just clickbait videos. And there was like 4 or 5 channels like that. They were built a network just doing that. I think those kind of things come in phases, where like as much as one thing like gets tons of clickbait and a lot of views, the next thing comes out and does the same thing. And I think it's kind of like the same way we have a lot of like, or we used to anyways, had a lot of trash like just reality TV kind of things where it's like clickbaity and you hear about
It's
it on
still
the-
there,
It's still there, I know, but like nobody really watches
and
it.
people watch it. No, some people still watch it. I know a
More.
couple of twinks. I mean, people who
I know
watch it.
people, like Keeping Up with the Kardashians, X on the Beach, that kind of stuff.
It's
And
like the most
bought like
sludge of the television pool or something like
Mhm.
that. It's just like, how do you people watch this shit? Why?
I don't know, but there's people that do it, and I know a couple. And I don't understand, and I don't want to.
I think there has a lot of
I
things
think
to
for
say.
the sake of the boner, I may have to enjoy a couple, but that's not the point.
People will watch anything.
Yeah, people watch anything, and that's kind of the thing about it is like, it's just getting that audience and those on that content, ignorance is bliss, I guess, in that kind of vein too.
Yep.
Or like there, I forget his name. I was watching Flagrant. It's another podcast, with Andrew Schultz and all them, and there was a guy who on there. There's 3 types of people. It's like the people who are outgoing and want to know everything, so they strive for more knowledge. There's people who have the knowledge but can't do anything about it. And then there's people who don't want to know anything and are like the most happiest people because they're just ignorant and just bliss. And I'm like, fuck. It's either you're driven, you can't do anything about it, or you don't care enough to care. And I kind of feel like that's where those
Yeah,
kind
I
of people...
love ignorance a lot of the times.
I'm firmly in the driven category, unfortunately. I've chosen to endure life's challenges.
Yeah.
No, like, that's fun in certain aspects, but there's a lot of things I just can't be bothered to care about.
Yeah, no, and that's
True.
that's also what I feel about you. Like, there's just some things I just don't care to learn, or don't interest me enough for me to seek out. But like, if I want to seek knowledge about X thing, I will go do that. I think there's a lot.
Yeah.
I think there's a lot to be said about that too. Where you can kind of be a little bit of both. But there's some people that are mainly one or of the others, and one of them is a little bit worse overall.
Straight up ignorance. You just take everyone by their word.
Mm-hmm.
That one's fun, though. It keeps you happy.
Yeah, there's something to be said about being happy. Sometimes it's just
Life precious. Life require
Amphetamines.
fulfillment.
You can't waste it sleeping.
Something greater.
there's just sometimes where you're just trying to hear some noise.
We are given a gift that nothing else in the universe has, that we know of.
that we know of.
Why waste it? I guess that's my view on things.
No, it's a good point where it's like, yeah, there's gonna be people who pander to that, but most people who pander to that, I think they see one video like, oh, this is not good, and will click off. And then there's some people that are gonna just nosedive in, and I think that's a smaller minority that's gonna dive into those. Which is it's weird when you say minority when you see like millions of views on a video, but like how big is the platform? You get me?
Also,
Yeah.
autoplay.
Autoplay's a thing too. I have gone. That's a
Oh
weird one.
god, that's right.
That's a weird thing about it, where my autoplay will just go, and I get onto like some really weird channels.
I try to usually have it disabled on all things, but sometimes I'll miss, or sometimes the app will reset or whatever, and it'll just be on, and it's bad.
It's typically when I'm like at home going to bed, and I have to leave my headphones in to like watch something, and like I have a playlist like of 2 or 3 videos before I fall asleep, and then like 6 hours later, it's 12, 13 topics adjacent to where I started, and it's on a channel that I have no fucking idea how I got here. So yeah,
There's doctors' offices that just have YouTube like playlists going, or like Netflix or HBO, or, whatever they feel like putting on.
Yeah.
Really. The best ones usually just have a smart speaker playing stuff. Good dimly lit office waiting area or room.
Yeah, I guess my point was just that utilization of AI and how it's obvious nowadays, but it's going to be harder to tell later on. And eventually, we're going to get at a point where people are just going to be able to like put a prompt in and make a YouTube video out of it. You know?
yeah. That's the
gonna
thing.
be scary.
What again, I don't know I don't know if it was Neil, but they said right now this is the worst you're ever gonna see AI, because the next time you see it, it's gonna get better, and that every time it's gonna get better and better and better and better. Like right now, this is the worst you're seeing it, as of right now.
Yeah.
In 6 to 8 months, or not even 6 to 8 months, let's say a couple months from now, it's going to be better than it was right now, and that'll be the new baseline of where everything's at. And that's kind of nuts. And it's like not just affecting like videos, it's like affecting so many different like fields and like things that can be done by AI, which it's so scary to think how far it's gonna go.
It's gonna be great.
Yeah, optimism. Yeah.
Woo!
Totally not living in the darkest timeline.
It's gonna be so easy to drive.
Doubt.
You're not even gonna have to drive.
Or without steering wheel.
If only
Driving
Harley
is-
didn't die.
Or very built in now. You don't drive. The car drives for you because the car
I
is
want to
safer.
revert to horse, man.
That would be so cool. So expensive.
It's totally doable here as well.
Yeah,
I could just go steal a horse in Minecraft.
I'd prefer if you didn't steal my horses.
You have horse.
Stay away from Mr. Hands.
He died.
Did he really?
Yeah, his insides were broken.
Ooh, that's usually how
The
things die.
horse or the man?
The man.
I know, but the horse was named Mr. Hands. The dude, I forget his name. And yeah, he had perforated rectum from horsecock.
You know what they say.
It went from an innie to an
You
Audi.
win some, you lose some.
It really is.
Yeah.
Yeah, you lose some self-respect in your life.
Yeah, he lost them.
All right. I've
The
lost the
sports,
plot.
eh?
What the
I've
hell?
lost
Are we
the
done?
plot. We're done.
Should
We're
we
done.
just? I feel
We're
like
done.
that's an excellent ending point to leave this on.
We are done.
It just cut there and like why
God.
is it 10 seconds of silence at the end?
No outro. no
30
credits, just-
seconds. The whole end credits is just that sequence.
It's just Ranger snickering by himself.
Oh, shit.
Just like what? No, we're gonna clip that one part, and it's gonna be the only part of the podcast that we save.
Thank you all so much for watching, and we'll see you next time. Good night.
Fart with reverb. Fuck you, fart with reverb.